All right. Let's wait for people to come in. Good afternoon, magandang hapon, everyone. Revo Nation. My little brother. The Senorita's here, of course, man. Everyone. Trexus, brother. SPW, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Okay, let's have the Senorita JDL on the program. Everyone in Southeast Asia, good afternoon. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Matt, the artist, that official. Hello, brother. OG.
Yo.
JDL, what's up, brother?
Good morning. It's good. This is the earliest we ever had the show. I am so happy. Everyone watching right now, I am definitely a morning person. Hello to everyone right now. Trexis, Triple F, Matt the Artist Official, Ken's brother, Carl. Thank you very much again for the assist for the last show. What's up, guys? You are tuning in to #PWG Live, a show where the tag amigo Ken Warren and I just, talk to each other, have some guests on while we're going through this quarantine together. We're almost two months in, so you got to keep busy, brothers and sisters. How you feeling, Ken?
Well, I am nervous as per usual, which means it's good because I care. You can never be ashamed of when you're nervous, when you care for something you want to deliver. Always, what I'm saying. But funny you should mention that this is usually your time of the day. This is not my time of the day. Given the opportunity, especially the pandemic, especially on my day off, I'm usually just probably awake or about to wake up around at this time. I have to be honest.
That is true.
Right now.
People are asking if your room is EPIS free right now because what happened. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
That
was yesterday. I hope so. Come on, freaking sunlight! Don't infest on me right now, cockroaches, please. Damn it.
So technically, what did you do on your day off yesterday? Because we didn't have any guestings. Because it was very early in the day. We had a day off. What were you doing?
I was just playing video games. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, I actually mentioned on the Aaron Solo episode that I'm not really a gamer. That is very true. However, there are some games that when you just show to me, when you let me play, it just brings me back to my childhood. So yesterday I was able to score from a high school friend of mine over on the Facebook machine, if you will, Diablo 3 for PS3. And I've had my PS3 for 10 years. I never imagined there was a Diablo game for PlayStation. So
I didn't know that either. Yeah, I also have a PS3. I never went for the PS4. I went for the Switch. So
I remember that day.
So, how you feeling? You ready?
I think so. You can never be more than ready. You can always just be ready with what you got right now. How are you though? Before we start this, man.
Yesterday I talked with the rest of the PWR trainers. So we are planning on how to conduct training online right now for the rest of the boot campers. So that'll be interesting. We have actually the test run later today before I go live with Cheeseburger. So I have a pretty full day today. And also yesterday I had my bi-monthly therapy session with a psychologist because this ECQ is getting to me, honestly. And you gotta everyone who's watching right now, please keep your mental health in check. Be kind to everyone, just because everyone who's going through something right now, it's magnified because of how bad ECQ is. So if you're going through tough times before this, ECQ right now especially tough. And just make sure that you take care of others, but remember to take care of yourself.
Yeah, preach, brother. That's good. It's always every week or every other 2 weeks, right? You keep yourself in check. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I talk with with a therapist. Some people may know her as Moonshine.
Oh, okay.
From 8-Bit Fiction.
Sounds familiar.
If people here are fans of 8-Bit Fiction and Moonshine, I talk to her every 2 weeks just to keep myself in check. And hello everyone who's saying hi. Super
Kurasaki.
Hello. Hello also to Pretty Bad Juju. She's also helping me keep my mental health in check. My girlfriend, everyone, and your sister. You haven't really given your sister a shout out.
Yeah,
right now,
sister. Ate Karen, hello. Thank you for making noise in the comments section.
She was really loud for Aaron Solo. That was great to see. I didn't need to say anything. I didn't jump in.
I never.
We got a minute left. Until we ask Fred ROSSER to jump on. So I should get out, maybe check on him right now, and you do your thing, amigo, and I'll be doing my thing later tonight at 10 p.m. We'll see you after. I'll see you after the interview, brother.
See you, brother. Don't forget the link. Thank you.
Ah, right. Let me link that right now.
Alrighty. Hello,
There you
China
go.
Mundo. Hello, Ate Karen. I already saw you, man. Alrighty. Spin this comment JDL posted. And of course, if you're wondering, if you guys for tuning in this afternoon, magandang hapon. Thank you for tuning in to hashtag PWOG Live this early Sunday. And if you're wondering what's that pinned comment below, that is for the Mabuhay ang Wrestling, Mabuhay ang Pilipino, Help Our COVID-19 Frontliners Save Lives partnership with Philippine Wrestling Revolution and Ticket to Me. So if you buy a shirt, buy PW's Mabuhay ang Wrestling tees, and part of the proceeds will be donated for the donation and distribution of PPEs. So here's how. Order your shirt on the Ticket to Me website, the link we provided below. Send proof of purchase to the PWR FB page. And third, in the next upcoming or the nearest PWR show, you can claim your shirt on the event. So please, everyone, if you have a little extra and you're a fan of wrestling, feel free to click that link. You can even screenshot this live right now so you can have an access to the link. Just click on more and you can see the link further. Alrighty, for everyone tuning in, we have the one, the only, Fred Rosser, Mr. No Days Off in the program. We are just waiting for him to join the live. If you have any questions, don't forget to smash that heart button to show love for Fred Rosser himself and just, put it on the comment section. It's right over there. It's an easy type on IG Live this afternoon. Show us your toys. Oh, Matt, not the artist, that official. That's a great idea. Here you go, brother. Here you go. Here you go. Alrighty. The Senorita JDL is requesting, wait a minute, before we show my toys. This is right over there. They're not going to leave. Senorita JDL is back on the program. What is his update right now? What's up, brother?
Sorry, I'm on right now. Like, I'm trying to get to Fred Rosser. I think he's seen my messages already. He'll probably be in like a while.
Okay.
So I'm just here to help you stall right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know. Like we left you. I left you hanging for a while. Oh, he's replying right now. We'll just wait. Just wait a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But anyway, to everyone who's watching right now, please help our brave frontliners by donating to that link below. We're just waiting. You want to give them a quick tour of your toys?
Yeah, Super Kasaki. Hello, Trian De La Torre, for joining in the program. Hello, thank you, brother. Here's a quick tour of my toys as we wait for one Fred Rosser, Mr. No Days Off, to join our program. So right over here, I'm not going to turn the, you know what? Let me turn the selfie stick right over there. Well, there you go. I don't know what you guys want to see, man. It's the latest John Morrison fig that I have. Porunga for Dragon Balls. Patrick Star. I love this mofo. Funko Pop of Wolverine. That's a prototype. There you go. Some Tanahashi action right over there for New Japan. I'm not selling, Kate. I'm not selling. There are my toys. And Janica, thank you for joining in the program. We are just giving you a quick tour of my toys, my collection, my inspiration, for a lack of a better term, as we wait for one Fred Rosser to join in on the program. How much for Patrick Star? I don't know. I got it for $5.95. I don't really remember, but I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. This is not a live selling. I'm not bidding. What are you guys doing? So there you go. Some New Day action, Rugrats. Man, a lot of Funko Pops right over there. Some Legos or minifigures. Ooh, go. Right over there. Some customs. Yeah, yo. I have some customs right over there. I did this myself, some of them. Kenny Omega, Tamatonga, Joey Ryan. Sort of custom Hulk Hogan, Mean Gene. I customed it. One of my grails, the Spider-Man wrestler Lego minifigure. So, man. All right, let me return.
We're getting him. Like I'm just contacting him right now, Ken.
Okay, did he reply?
Yeah, he's replying. We're just fixing everything up. We're just fixing everything up right now.
Alrighty, thanks, brother. Thank you, brother. How are you, man? Like, what else? How was your Sunday so far? Since you're a morning person, you've probably done more.
What? Well, I guess I did. Like this morning has been a lot of Stardew Valley. So, just just passing the time right now, waiting for this, and preparing for the PWR bootcamp training later, the online one. So did a lot of like watching videos and then taking down notes and everything. So we're just doing what I can to get by. How was your like Sunday morning? Were you able to wake up pretty early?
Yeah, man, because I was mostly asleep last night. Yeah, I was awake pretty early, and I just want to say shout out quick to I think this is Trickster, right? This is Jinx Kier ZXC. This is Trickster, right, or no? I'm not really sure. I think it's Trickster, my brother from SPW. I think.
Is it Trickster?
I think it's.
I thought he had. Okay, I thought he had like a Trickster Instagram also.
I think this is personal. Oops, sorry for if ever Tricksters, let me know. I'm not gonna promote the personal account in the future. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. What's this Stardew Valley the best? Stardew Valley the best. I think you know what is that? Senorito.
It's one of the most calming games right out there right now. It's available on Steam if anyone wants. What happened?
I double click because like the comment section is just I'm in the comment page right now. So
all right. Let me try to figure it out real quick. Can please check your messages, Ken? I'm just letting you know right now.
How can I check it, bro? If I'm on the live, brother? Oh yeah, of course. Wait, right now.
Your laptop. All right, I'll message you something. All right, see you, brother.
Alrighty. Okay. So Senorita JDL is contacting again Mr. Fred Rosser to join on the program. Art_Andin. Senorita growing the beard of Philippine wrestling. He is. Alrighty. Someone has joined the live. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please show some love. Smash that heart button for the one, the only. We have a primetime player on primetime Pacific time on LA. Mr. No Days Off himself, Mr. Darren Young on the program, and our Fred Rosser. In 3, 2, 1, connecting. Good evening, sir. Hello.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm super honored to have you on the program, sir. Apologies for I think it's nighttime right now. Are your knees asleep or nephews?
Yeah, they are.
Sorry.
I just put them to sleep, and yeah, I was thrown off. I thought it was tomorrow at 9 p.m. But
apologies for that confusion. But still, thank you. We appreciate so much. You took the time off your night rather, and to join us in the program. We really appreciate it, sir.
yeah, absolutely. I always say don't die with the story and you tell it. So however I can show my story with your following, I'm going to do it. I have a story, and my story is pretty impactful.
Yes, sir. Indeed it is. And on that note, let us start with the fan questions. I have a pre-selected fan question, actually, because I'm a big fan of yours. So,
no, thank you.
Let's start right over here. So this is from @matt.theartist.official. Hi, Freddie. I design shirts and gear for wrestlers in Southeast Asia, and I'd love to work with you in the future. My question is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite wrestling shirt that you owned?
My favorite wrestling shirt? As a kid, I didn't really have any wrestling shirts as a kid. I'm trying to say, I had more wrestling shirts as a teenager, but as a kid, man, that's a good question. I was always a fan of Hulk Hogan, so anything with Hulk Hogan on it, I was on it. But yeah, that's a good question. I didn't start wearing wrestling shirts until I got into high school, junior high school, when like the Attitude Era was very popular. So probably anything with Hulk Hogan or Austin 316 when he had the letters.
Alrighty. And actually, you touched on being a fan of Hulk Hogan. Actually, because I was browsing from some photos for the segment later, the Shoot Your Shot segment, you actually met Hulk Hogan at one point. Can you please tell us that experience?
Yeah, I met Hulk Hogan several times. When I came out publicly, years later, I had ran into him again, and he was very cool. He was very like, hey, man, I heard your story, and props to you, and I'm supporting you, and all that other good stuff. And he knew my name, which I didn't think that he would. He called me Darren by my ring name in WWE. So that was nice of him to say. Regardless of what he's done in the past, he's one of the reasons why I got into the business. So thanks to my dad getting me into wrestling, getting me into Hulk Hogan, I made it, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm sure that's just maybe you were even a loss for words when you actually met the person that inspired you to chase the dream that we are all chasing here in the program. That's to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I always try to keep it cool, you know, like for example, when you get to work with someone like Rey Mysterio or Kane, guys that you watch growing up, you try to be calm, cool, and collected, but on the inside, you're pretty excited. Like, yeah, man, I'm getting to work with these guys. So, yeah, I'm still a fan. I always say whether it's in front of 100 people or 10,000 people, this is still fun for me. So, doing the independence again. It's it's cool to me. I love it. That's where I started. I started wrestling in arenas with no shower and no toilet. So I know what it's like to grind. I know what it's like to grind, and I know what it's like to, be a part of big shows.
And it was actually you touched on being in arenas without showers. Was that one of the inspirations of your nickname, Mr. No Days Off? Because you've been through a lot for
Yeah.
sure, Fred. Man.
Yeah, missing no days off is just something that I live by. It's a lifestyle of constant grind, hustle, and being that superhero. I need to be a superhero not only for the LGBTQ community, but I need to be a superhero for anyone that gets bullied into silence. As a kid, I got bullied for having a speech impediment. I got bullied for being overweight, but I didn't let those disabilities hold me down. You might have gotten bullied maybe because you had long hair as a kid, but we don't let any of that stuff hold us down. And I, when I got signed with WWE, I got signed with them May 4th, 2009. And out of 75 guys and girls from all over the world, I beat them out. I earned my tryout. And this was a time when I actually paid to do a WWE tryout. So nowadays, guys don't have to pay for tryouts, they just get invited. So I know what it's like to grind. I know what it's like to roll up my sleeves and put in the work.
Thank you for sharing that story. It's the old school mentality, not just the old school mentality, but actually the old school treatment, and you overcame that with your
Yes.
with your passion for the wrestling business, and like you are a superhero. You still look like a superhero, man.
Hey, I always say health is wealth. I'm drinking my ketones. Ketones is what keeps me going. It gives me energy, good mental clarity, and yeah, it's a new supplement that I've been taking religiously since September. At 36, sometimes you got to switch it up because when you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results, doing the same supplements all the time. And after I got introduced to the ketogenic lifestyle, my body has responded to it very well, not only physically, but like mentally, because a lot of us in the business, you might not know, but you might suffer from CTE, and that's like from having concussions and all that other craziness. It comes with the territory. We can hope that we don't have it, but it comes with the territory. But after supplementing with exogenous ketones, it's really helped me with mental clarity and also remembering lines, remembering scripts, because before the pandemic, I just got off a musical in New York. It was a off-Broadway musical where I was the lead. The musical was about marriage equality, and I had to remember so much stuff, and just supplementing with exogenous ketones really helped probably repair brain tissue. But yeah, I can go on and on about health and fitness. Like I said, health is wealth.
Yes, sir. Indeed, indeed. And actually, you were supposed to be a theater actor, so that was one of your side projects. Was it in New York, if I heard correctly, sir?
What's that?
You were supposed to be a theater actor. You're supposed to be the lead. You were reading for a play.
Yeah, I was lead. I was reading. I was reading for a play again about marriage equality, and I had so much fun. we filmed for almost 2 weeks straight. It's a musical pilot, and I've posted stuff on my social media in the IGTV story. And the reason why I love bringing this story up is because Chris Jericho was a big inspiration in me getting into doing a musical. You know, I'm 36. At 26, I would have been like, musical? No, that's gay. I'm not going to do that, you know.
The
But
ignorant in us, you know.
yeah, it is what it is. But Chris Jericho inspired me because of everything he does. The Dancing with the Stars. So I said to myself, well, if he can do it, then so can I. And and just recently in one of my IG stories, I had wrote that he was a big inspiration, and I tagged him in the IG post, and he shared it on his page, so he knows what's up.
That's good. That's good. You know,
Yeah,
keep in contact and keep letting people know you're inspired with each other. You know, that's how life works. For lack of a better term, man. Like just
exactly.
because you wouldn't know when that moment you tagged him, he's probably tired, and when he sees something like that, a post coming from you,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's gonna brighten up his day as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Chris Jericho, he has that Midas touch. Anything he touches is like it turns into gold. So he's a big inspiration. Not to get off topic, but guys like The Rock, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, those are guys that I love to watch for how they operate in a certain role, how they become better storytellers. So those guys are big inspirations. So I can only imagine someone who sees me on social media, they get inspired by my workouts or what supplement I'm taking or what school I'm talking at. So, you know, I always say my social media is an open diary to the world. So anything I ever post always comes from the heart with the intent to inspire, motivate, and educate our youth. So I won't stop fighting until I'm 6 feet under.
Man. And I'm sure because you have one whole community backing you up for doing this.
Yeah, I always say none of us are strong as all of us. So the more allies, the more representation that we can have. You know, you don't have to be gay to support LGBTQ rights. You know, you don't have to. You know, I'm not asking for you to be gay. I'm just asking you to just support one another because, like I said, none of us are strong as all of us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's not, you know, it's a simple courtesy. Just we're all human beings, man. So you know, it's like it's good that we get to send this message and remind people every now and then that we're just human beings. Just be kind. You know, it's a hard thing to do, for lack of a better term. But just if you can, you know, it's easier to be a pain in the buttocks, for lack of a better term. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. You got
Alrighty,
you got to keep it PG, right?
oh, well, we can curse here. We can curse.
No, I like to keep it PG.
Okay. And that's probably WWE mentality as well. It's a good discipline. Not just actually, you're not just physically fit. That's a different kind of discipline. You're also mentally and just like you know, you choose your words wisely. So that's a good.
Yeah, I do. But it's funny on live events. You know the difference between TV and live events. Usually live events you can get away with certain things, you know. Sometimes if the crowd is sitting on their hands and they're not making any noise, me being a baby face, I won't be afraid to you know, throw someone the middle finger or something like that, you know, to get a rise out of the people. On live events you don't want to do that on TV. I remember one time Arn Anderson was the producer, and I said something like, "Your ass is mine, motherfucker," and he could hear it. He could hear it from the announce table. So after the match, he came to me in the back and was like, "Were you cursing out there?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just getting into it." And he was like, I can make you get fined. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Arn. I was just in the moment, So certain times I can get away with it. That time I almost got fined.
It's
But
a
that's
good gut check, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. But sometimes when the people are quiet, like sometimes you gotta bring some believability. You gotta get the people be like, he just cursed. Yeah, he just cursed.
Gotta show that passion, not that lazy fire. Not that lazy
Yes.
fire. Not all of
No.
us can get away with it.
No. No.
Especially if it's not in the hometown. You know?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's backtrack a bit because actually I got overexcited when you actually joined the program. I just wanted to ask one of the most important questions you could ask anyone you encounter during the pandemic. How are you, Fred? How are you doing during this quarantine?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm maintaining. I've got my god babies that are keeping me sane. I've got my little Rocky home gym workouts that I do in the backyard, in the garage. So, like I said, health is wealth. You can strip me of my finances. You can strip me of my clothes. You can strip me of everything, but you cannot and you will not strip me of my good health. So that's myself on having good health. So, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing my little side hustles. I'm heavily involved in the exogenous ketones that I drank. I'm involved with CBD, so athletes can get off opiates. Opiates is what can kill a lot of people, the painkillers. So I'm an ambassador for Pineapple Wellness here in LA. Pineapple Wellness ships nationwide, and it's a CBD without the THC, without the psychoactive effect. So anything that you can take for inflammation after a hard workout, I'm all about. I'm all about the know what you consume because there are tons of CBD products out there, and a lot of it, isn't legit, So with Pineapple Wellness, they're all about know what you consume. So those are my side hustles, the CBD and the ketones and doing my workouts and my podcast, Pro and Bro Wrestling. I do with my real life neighbor. It's like therapy for me, and we've been doing it for almost a year. It feels like over a year. But again, that's therapy for me, and I do it with my real life neighbor, Arnold Telegarta, and we're actually going to be filming tomorrow. Last week we had Callisto. This week we're going to have who are we going to have? We're going to have this other LGBTQ wrestler, Cassius. He's from the UK area, so we're gonna have him on tomorrow. So again, doing a podcast is like therapy for me, and there's there's so much so much it does for me, and I'm so happy to be able to do it. Yeah, so I'm maintaining, like I said.
Yes, sir. And that's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Thank
Man,
you.
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's. I don't know. Since we're going back memory lane, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, I've actually had this question ever since. Actually, this is a two-parter, just in case. So,
Mhm.
may I know, sir, the origin story of your arm tattoo, and when did you decide to have that very long knee pads before? Because I remember seeing that only from the video games, and it's like a great way to stand up. Like, I remember this when I'm creating a wrestler, and he actually used it. Yes, sir. Please explain.
The long knee pads I got from Ric Flair. You know how Ric Flair wears like the knee pads that are kind of low. So I wear my knee pads like that because of him. I normally wear two knee sleeves. I don't just wear one knee sleeve. I wear a regular knee sleeve, and then I wear, in the States we have AMA, which are like very thick knee pads. So I always wear two socks on each foot, two knee pads on each knee, because our body takes abuse. So that's the reason why I wear them low. One, because of Ric Flair, and my tattoo is a tribal band. I got this in 11th grade with my mom, and she's got this is my one and only tattoo. One and only tattoo, and she's got like 10 or 11 or 12. I don't know how many. I asked my mom a while ago, Mom, how many tattoos do you have? She's like, oh, I don't know. Count. So yeah, I got this in 11th grade in New York. I wasn't leaving the tattoo convention until I got a tattoo. I've had thoughts of getting a, you know how like The Rock has his tattoo here. Like I was looking to mirror something like that. But I'm too big of a wussy.
Okay.
It takes
But
too
like,
long.
if I may, not to
long.
get you in trouble, or at least the young version of you in trouble, how'd you get away with tattoo in 11th grade? Well, I'm not sure how is it in America, but
Well, because my mom's permission, like my mom gave me the permission. She was with me. She actually took me to the tattoo convention, and she has a dozen herself. You know, so she signed off on it, and I got my tattoo. But like something like that, like having your arm done, Randy Orton told me it takes for him to get his whole arm done. It took 3 8-hour sessions. So that's a long time, man. That's a long time to be sitting there getting inked up and stuff like that. So, and also being out here in LA for the last couple of years, I don't want that much ink on me because I'm not established yet as like, you know, an actor. When you're established as an actor, then you can get whatever you want, you know. But a few cameos I've had out in LA, they actually had to like spray paint my tattoo off, you know. So it's better I just stay clean.
that's true. That's true. And speaking of actually, so it seems like you're venturing from pro wrestling to acting. May we ask, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I love comedy movies. Well, one, I love documentaries, but when it comes to comedy, I love. He passed away. Chris Farley, Tommy Boy, and Black Sheep. Do you remember those movies?
Maybe some other. Can you give me some more? Not really. I have to be honest. Farley,
Yeah.
just Farley. He sounds familiar.
Yeah, Chris Farley was a big fat comedian. Like,
Beverly Hills Ninja. Is that him?
yeah,
Okay.
that guy is funny. So those are like two of my favorite movies that I can think off the top of my head. Tommy Boy and Black Sheep were the names of the movie. But I'm more of a documentary guy. I love documentaries. Anything about real life or true life, I'm all about it.
I see. Thank you for sharing that story. And hopefully you get to venture out more. Maybe somewhere in Comedy Central. And you know, you wouldn't know. Like it's great to have you because even Dolph Ziggler was at one Comedy Central at one point, and he's doing stand-up comedy now. So you know.
Yeah, I've actually seen him in LA perform. I don't find myself funny, but you know, who knows? Never say never. Like recently, I just did this musical, you know, where I was singing, dancing, acting, singing and dancing, something I've never done before. You know, you can remember lines and stuff like that, but when you remember lines and then have to add singing and dancing to it, that's very difficult, you know. But I was able to conquer that. When it comes to comedy, who knows? I just need to get practice at it, you know. That's why I'm out here in LA. And again, I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too. I'm trying to be not only an actor, but continue to wrestle whenever I can, and be an entrepreneur when it comes to talking about health and wealth. So, you know, I know people want to know what I'm doing on my social media when it comes to fitness. So I want to be able to kind of share it with the world as to what I'm doing, because what works for me might not work for you, but I can promise you anything I'm posting on my social media will definitely work for you.
Awesome. All right. So on that note, since we're winding down a bit for the questions, let's proceed with this shoot your shot segment. It's a segment that we thought of, my tag partner Jake De Leon and I thought of. Basically, it's a segment where I show photos at the background through the magic of iPhone, and it's also photos of you. So can you please tell a shoot story of every single photo that we will flash,
Sure.
whenever you're ready?
Sure.
All right. So first photo. Shoot your shot on this photo.
Oh yeah, that was my first. Well, actually, my second time working with WWE.
Okay.
The first time I worked with WWE was 2003. It was a Survivor Series commercial. That was the first time I ever worked with WWE. 2005 is when I actually worked with WWE backstage for the first time, and I was back there first time, and they asked me if I could. The writer's name was actually Ed Koski. He asked me if I could be if I could play a detective, and I said sure, absolutely. And I was a nervous wreck, first time being backstage, and I was a detective, and Chavo remembers long ago, man. This is 2005, and he still talks about to this day. Hey, yeah, man, I remember when you were a detective and you were nervous. I was so nervous. We did the take probably we did the take probably 10 or 11 times, and I got it right the 12th time. And this is when Vince McMahon was hands on. Vince McMahon was hands on. With the backstage segment, and he was like, "Man, I'm buying the Guerreros, I'm buying the Bashams, I'm not buying this detective. What are we gonna do about it?" And like that last take, that 12th take, I finally got it, and it's just that nervousness flubbing up my lines. But again, I finally got the take, and Eddie was so nice to me. Every time I kept flubbing up, Eddie Guerrero was like, "Hey, don't worry about it, Holmes. You got this. Just be calm, be cool." The way he was on TV was the way he was with me, and that's something I'll never ever forget. So yeah, first time ever being backstage with WWE. This was my role.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to this next photo. This is a photo of you and the Honky Tonk Man.
Great photo, bro. That was the first veteran that I ever wrestled in New Jersey, and Honky has a way of he does the same match with everybody, you know. But with me, we wrestled probably twice, and probably after the second time we wrestled, he said to me, my name at the time was Fred Sampson. And he said, he said to someone else, "You know that Sampson, he's going to be somebody. He's going to be in WWE some way." He said it with that southern accent of his. He's like, he's going to be somebody. He's going to be with WWE someday. And sure enough, he was right. So I actually just seen him before the pandemic happened. There was a convention, autograph signing convention in LA where The Undertaker was headlining. And
Wow.
Honky was there, and anytime I see him, Scott Hall, they always come running to me. Like, who am I? They come running to me because they have so much love and so much respect for me. Scott Hall's always been so kind to me when he heard my story, and he's seen my work with Titus O'Neil, because Scott Hall knows that when Titus and I were teaming, I was a workhorse, you know, because I hadn't been doing it so long. Titus O'Neil was a talker, so but both of us worked together so well. But Scott Hall always knew that I was a workhorse, and you know, Honky, having worked him several times, was just so kind to me. Anytime I see him, either backstage with WWE when he wrestled Heath Slater, or if I saw him recently at the convention here in LA, so kind to me. So I love Honky.
Awesome. Actually, just to comment real quick, because I'm a fan of yours as well, and like when you said Titus is a talker, I feel like you're being humble, because you are a talker yourself, sir. Like one of the biggest lines that you could always that pops in my head whenever I see you, like, "Hey, big man." When you would always do that, and like,
yeah. Well, that's
you're a talker. It's like, you know what I'm saying.
yeah. Well, that's real life, you know. Big man Big Man's got it. Big Man's got all the big Big Man's got all the hookups. You know, that's how it is with Titus. We travel together. He's got the hookups with the hotels and the rental cars and this and that. So anytime you have issues, Titus got it. Yeah, yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And a quick shout out to at Alexis underscore Kingdom 18 or Kevan Chu. One of the reasons that we got you actually on the program are he's a show of the PWOG hashtag PWOG Live, and man, he's awesome from Singapore. He's one of the reasons we got you in here, sir. So
Yeah.
shout out to him.
Who is it again?
Alexis underscore Kingdom 18. Kevan Chu.
Caven, yeah, of course. I love my dude Caven. I talked to him last week or 2 weeks ago. Like I said, I always say don't die with the story and you tell it. So if I have the time, I'll make time to share my story and help, elevate whoever's platform I'm on. And shout out to you. I seen a clip of you in the statement. And what's the other guy? Trexas. Were they doing some offense to you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes. Well, sort of. I came in to break the pin, and Senorita JDL, or my tag partner, was taking the offense.
Yeah, of course. See, you snuck out of it. You got out of taking all that offense. You're trying to be sneaky. You should have been the one taking the offense, but you had your partner take it, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I try to get my stuff in.
Yeah.
Like 12 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes,
but
sir.
it was cool, man. It was cool from what I saw. Like the timing, the accuracy, the acceleration was incredible. So I had to shout out my boys. The statement.
Yes, sir. For sure. He was actually one of my when I traveled to to Malaysia rather. I was a replacement, like being in the right place at the right time. He was my opponent. I was a replacement opponent for him, and it was awesome working with him, especially in the tag team match as well.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there in November in Singapore to wrestle for him, but I had already committed to a big show in New Jersey and New York that I needed to take care of. So I couldn't make it out to Singapore, but hopefully after this, hopefully whenever we get back to normal, hopefully I can go out there and have some fun in Singapore, because I've wrestled all over the world, but I've never been to Southeast Asia. So that's a goal of mine. Anytime WWE was doing a Southeast Asia tour, I was always on the UK tour or some other tour, or not on a tour at all. So that is my goal. That has been my goal for some time now. So, we'll see.
Yes, please, and maybe hopefully you can make a side trip to the Philippines and PWR. So we're gonna be open arms, like, hey, Mr. Rosser, feel free.
Well, I mean, if the wrestling's out there and you guys have shows, I'm all about doing shows and clinics and whatever's available. And I love speaking at schools. My whole Block the Hate movement is so important to me. In this world, we all receive hate for various reasons, but in order to be strong and successful, you got to block the hate. And the Block the Hate just isn't an LGBTQ movement. It's a movement for anyone that gets bullied into silence. So not only do I wrestle, of course, but I do a lot of speaking engagement. I talk to before 2020 happened, I spoke at a school, 500 kids in New Jersey, and that, when it comes to speaking, that's the true test. If you can, for 45 minutes, if you can hold 500 fifth graders' attention by sharing your story, that's the true test, man, when it comes to any kind of promo or anything. But if you can hold the attention of 500 kids, you've made it. And that's something I love doing. I love sharing my story. I'm not an in and out type of guy. I just, I do it because I love it, and I know it's going to impact someone. And with my social media, I don't post for the thousands that'll hate. I'll post for someone that is inspired by it. I always say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I am a friend. And I have met several fans over my career that wanted to take their life because they weren't loved. They wanted to take their life because they had no one to look up to. And I was able to talk them out of it. So people say I need a break from social media. Well, I can't take a break from social media because I know every time I wake up in the morning and my feet touch the ground, I know someone's counting on me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're a superhero to many, like what you were able to mention earlier.
Yeah,
Thank you for that beautiful message.
not all superheroes wear capes, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Indeed, indeed. Okay, we are last. We are down to our last three photos. Are you still good to proceed? We have a few minutes
Yeah,
left.
yeah, as long as, because what's the time limit? Because I've been doing a lot of these IG lives. What is it, 45 minutes, an hour?
The for IG Live in general, it's an hour. So we were
Okay.
just trying to be respectful of your time as well because it's getting late there in LA. So
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm sorry that, better late than never, but I'm glad that we were able to do this. And I'm sure this won't be the last time that we do this. I would love to do it again. But yeah, keep rolling, baby.
all right, great. Last three photos. Let's go. Of course, we cannot. Oh, dang it! It got cut. We cannot forget this. Without we can't forget Fred Rosser or Darren Young or Mr. No Days Off without mentioning being in the prime time players. So talk about making moves, making $1 million moves. What can you say about this photo, sir?
Well, a lot of what happens backstage gets brought to light. So Vincent Mann has seen a liking in Titus and I because he always seen us together. Titus and I always laugh and always chopping it up. And Vince liked us together, and Vince ultimately put us together when John Laurinaitis brought us to SmackDown full time. So it was Vince's idea, and of course, tag teams don't last forever. And I knew once we were done tag teaming, I needed to have a plan B. And my plan B was, I want to have a life coach. I want to have someone like Bob Backlund. I wonder if you probably have a photo of that already ready. But
It's on
see,
cue.
see, but Vince McMahon gave me that opportunity with Bob Backlund, and I'll get into that. But Titus O'Neil, they say, with Vince McMahon, the most intimidating thing about him is his office door. Once you get through his office door, it's all gravy. Titus O'Neil was the type of person that would just bust in his door, bust through and say, hey, boss, what do you got for us? Well, what do you got for us? And that's what it takes, because Vince McMahon always said that nervous people don't draw money. The Rock, The Rock might be excited, he might be nervous on the inside, but he delivers. So that's one thing Titus helped me with was just being up front and being out there.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's proceed. Speaking of Mr. Backlund, or speaking of a life coach, this photo right here.
Yeah. Like I said, tag teams don't last forever. And several times I've done signings with Bob Backlund. And I like to do my autograph signings standing up. He likes to do them standing up. He's very energetic. I'm energetic. But we're both opposites, and we always got along. Anytime we saw each other, we would always talk and talk. And I always had in the back of my mind, man, I'd love to bring him back for him to be like my life coach, because that's like a missing ingredient in wrestling is managers. So I've done the Nexus, part of a group. I've been a primetime player, tag team with Titus, but now I was going to be able to be on my own. And how it came about was I had proposed an idea to Vince by busting through his office, visuals, and Vince loved it, and Vince actually called up Bob Backlund probably December of 2014, and then probably, you know, right after WrestleMania of 2015 is when Bob and I started working together. So Vince called up Bob. Bob was down to do the gimmick, and it was time to go to work. It's just unfortunate that the people that work under Vince McMahon didn't have my back. But I'll never say a bad thing about Vince McMahon because he gave me that opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. And actually, I had a follow-up question with that. Did you ever keep the chicken wing as one of your submission finish when you are wrestling in the indies?
I haven't teased it at all because I don't know. I just I have my own agenda and stuff like that. I haven't teased it, but one of the reasons why it ended with WWE so abruptly was because I was told I couldn't use the crossface finisher because the crossface chicken wing because it was a dangerous hold. That's something that Triple H had told me, and I said to him, "No, Hunter, I'm gonna be safe with it. I'm not gonna hurt anybody." And he told me I couldn't do it anymore. He said I needed to do the Cobra Clutch, the same hold that Sergeant Slaughter did. And I said to myself, if I wanted Sergeant Slaughter to be my life coach, I would have asked him to be my life coach. I wanted Bob Backlund to be my life coach, and I wanted to use his crossface chicken wing, which he said I could do. But it's just unfortunate that some people, like I said, that work under Vince McMahon didn't have my back. But hey, life goes on, man. But that's the nature of the business. Sometimes you're gonna have to eat shit and like the taste of it.
Or like the other saying, a humble pie tastes like crap, right?
Exactly.
All right, sir.
Exactly.
All right, sir. We are actually have one photo. Just a heads up, because we have 2 minutes remaining for this live. If ever this exits, if you're still down, can you just please re-enter the next live, if ever? Would you be okay, Fred?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So last photo. This one. It's actually a photo of you and Arnold in the Pro and Bro, not in the Pro and Bro podcast, but in his YouTube channel, eating Jollibee of all the food. Can you please tell your story on this one? Shoot your story, rather.
Anytime Arnold asked me to be a part of his YouTube, I said absolutely. And the way he asked me, he's like, "Hey man, do you mind if you're part of my podcast? You have time to do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely, bro. You're my bro. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything for Arnold." And he wanted me to try this, so we drove like an hour in California to get this food. I drive an hour back, and we ate it the first time I had it, and I got so sleepy. I forget what it was that, like, I don't know if it was the chicken, but I don't know what was
the gravy. The gravy.
Yeah, gravy or something, but I was just like this. I was just so tired. But any kind of show like this that I do with Arnold, I'm always down to do it. He's not my lover. We're not lovers. We're not fighters. We're freaking bros. That's my little tagline. That I always say. We're not lovers. We're not fighters. We're freaking bros.
Alright, I'm sorry about that. That was a warning, disclaimer that IG Live went over an hour, but rest assured, please someone tell Mr. Darren Young to go back on the live. There you go, he is back. Apologies for that disruption. Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're waiting for Mr. Fred Rosser to accept the invitation. We apologize for that. Apologies for that. That was an hour limit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wait, but we didn't start at an hour because how long were you on before I got on?
12 minutes in.
Wow, time flies, huh?
Yes, sir. Indeed, it does. Apologies for being cut off, but this was a photo we were using, and please continue with the story because you were mentioning about you're not lovers, you're not fighters, but you're brothers.
Yes.
I think was that even also the start of the Pro and Bro Wrestling podcast?
Well, how it started well, how it started was I moved to LA August 2017, and one morning he never walks his dog, Junior. He never walks his dog. One morning I was outside of my house and he was walking his dog, and he saw me and he was like, "Oh my God, no way, Darren Young." And I'm saying to myself, "Oh God, now this fan knows where I live now." And we started talking, but before we started talking, I'm kind of like checking him out, like checking him out, like, oh, he's kind of
you
cute, you
mentioned you
know?
mentioned on the first episode on YouTube.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I like checking him out, and then he said, "Yeah, me and my wife live next door, and this and that," and I'm just like, his wife.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. But fast forward, I don't even look at him like that anymore. That like he's literally my bro. Like I talk to him about everything, and he's really like my therapist. And anytime I could bring him backstage to WWE, I brought him backstage. I've got him to experience what it's like, with all the craziness, the controlled chaos backstage with WWE. So he's seen it all, and like he's my homie. He's my bro.
That's a beauty of friendship.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of friendship, right, man?
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, we are down to the last photo. Man, thank you for holding on this long, Mr. Fred Rosser. We have one last photo, a special message to this person in the photo.
You're good, bro. You're good. Yeah, my mom, she's my soundboard, she's my biggest supporter. I remember when I started wrestling in 2002, I didn't tell my parents probably a year that I was wrestling. So I was well into 2003 wrestling. She found out that I was wrestling, and she's like, "You got 6 months to make something out of it or you're done." It took me from 2002 to 2009 to earn my contract. It took me longer than 6 months, but I earned my contract. But she's been so supportive of me. I always bring her backstage. I always bring her to a lot of my signings. She's like my personal photographer, literally. Like she does photography for a hobby. So whenever I can bring her to any of my functions, she's there with me snapping away. So it's literally a tag team with her and I, because she's also a gay mother. And anytime I do speaking engagements, when it comes to LGBTQ issues, after I'm done speaking, a lot of parents come up to her after I'm done speaking, and they ask her, "Oh, how do I handle my son or daughter being gay or struggling with their sexuality?" And there are many ways that you can handle it, but there's only one way that you can handle it, and that's to love them unconditionally. Love them unconditionally, because what's worse, accepting the fact that your son or daughter is gay, or accepting the fact that you had to bury them? So that's something that, it's a light bulb that pops on. You want to bury your son or daughter because they're gay, or just accept them, bottom line. So yeah, she's my ride or die chick, and I have nicknames for a lot of my fans, but for her nickname is Rated R Robin Rosser.
Okay.
Because
if
she's rated R, man. Like, my manager doesn't have to worry about her. No, my manager doesn't have to worry about me. My manager has to worry about her, because she's rated R as they come.
And man, thank you so much for sharing that. And on that note, that's the highest of high. We will end the Shoot Your Shot segment. Man, Mr. Fred Rosser, thank you for joining that segment for this episode of Dash. And before we let you go, sir, do you want to promote your socials from YouTube, your YouTube page, Fred, Mission No Days Off, Rosser, your Twitter, Instagram, Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast? Please name him, sir.
Yeah, you pretty much damn. You just pretty much named them all, but but yeah, Twitter, Instagram at Real Fred Rosser, my podcast Pro and Bro Wrestling on Instagram. Hit me up in the DMs if you want to learn more about exogenous ketones, the the drink that gets me going. And if you want to know more about CBD, and if you just need that support system, if you don't have that support system at home, be a part of my social media family. So yeah, that's that.
Alrighty,
You got
alrighty.
to block the hate, salute the great, baby. Block the hate all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, again, Fred, thank you so much. And as we say in the Philippines, maraming salamat. Thank you for joining hashtag PWOG Live for this episode.
Awesome. Anytime. Anytime.
I hope please take care, keep that social distancing, stay happy, man. Stay happy, stay passionate, and keep being a superhero, not just for the people believing in you, but for yourself. And thank
Wait,
you so much.
yeah. Wait, was that Tagalog?
Yes, Tagalog, yes, Filipino.
Okay, yeah, yeah. My ex was a Filipino and Puerto Rican. I don't know. I don't remember any words, but yeah, I always like to bring that up.
Okay. Man, I hope you get to visit the Philippines soon. And PWR going to be there, Philippine Wrestling Revolution, to accept you open arms. I know
Well,
we're
you got to
Filipino
put.
fans, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to put me over, man. You got to put me over. Hopefully, that's why I did this interview, man. Hopefully, this interview can put me over. So when this pandemic is over, you can put in a good word for me.
Absolutely, sir. And we are very
And
honored again for you accepting this invitation.
and you can be the one to turn my dreams into a reality to perform somewhere in Asia. You could be the one. You could be the one to take that gut check.
Yeah, let's do it. 5 second segment. Let's do it, sir. Throw me out of the ring. Let's do it. One great
Yeah,
photograph.
yeah,
Great in the
exactly.
portfolio. Great in the
Exactly.
portfolio.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Red. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Please take care. May you enjoy your night. Belated Happy Labor Day. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Peace out.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for Fred Rosser for joining the program. Man, we are very honored early this afternoon. I messed up my headband. Thank you for everyone who tuned in for this episode of the hashtag PWOG Live. I'm just waiting for the Senorito to accept. Okay, view. I am going live with Senorito JDL. Alrighty, man. Alrighty. Man, thank you for everyone who joined.
That
Hello,
was
brother.
an amazing interview. Very much so. Block the hate, brother. Block the hate. That's all we can do right now. For all you
Yes, sir.
haters
Yes,
out
sir.
there, we blocking it, bro. We
This is
blocking it.
social distancing you need, everyone. That's it, man.
It's not really 6 feet away, but you get the idea. You get
Personal
the idea.
space. You know what I'm
How do you
saying?
feel, man? How do you feel? How do you feel right now?
I'm good. I'm good, man. He's like, he was mentioning about him wanting Bob Backlund as a life coach. Man, he speaks like a life coach. He himself speaks
Oh
like a
man,
life
yeah.
coach. He's
I
very
really
chill, very laid back, man.
Yeah, I really like the fact that like what he mentioned about because some people told him like you should take a break from social media, but he does not want to take a break from social media because he knows that there are people that look to him for inspiration. If he like takes a break, he knows that maybe their inspiration goes away, and that's really admiring of him that he keeps up with his social media. He makes a social media family and just helps out people, and that's really great to know. And that he is a very gracious guest, and we're lucky to have him on episode 11. We're only on list episode 11, so yeah, only
Man,
only
lucky
keep going
11.
up, I guess. Yeah,
Lucky number
brother.
11. 11's my favorite number. This is one great episode indeed, brother. Man, all
Yeah.
right. Apologies for you in advance because you're gonna be the one to edit this. It's gonna be more than an hour.
That's all right. That's all right. Editing actually kind of keeps me sane also because it's something to keep me busy, keep the bad feelings, bad thoughts away. So Let's keep these coming so that I have to keep editing and keep ourselves busy. I just have to say again, also like with Darren, with Fred Rosser, I really like that he speaks up for the people that are bullied into silence. So that was really great for me to hear and for him to say, because the LGBT community really gets a lot of hate, and it's even though maybe it's like lessened a little bit right now, but sometimes there is like this you can't really see where it happens. But I'm glad that he keeps speaking up. I'm glad that he is the inspiration for everyone, and an inspiration to all to just be nicer to everyone and just be kind. Exactly,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just in a loss for words, man. I didn't even know his side projects. Like he's venturing into acting now, specifically musicals. That's awesome, man.
I was surprised with the musical. Say I didn't like. I would have asked him to like sing, but it's nighttime there. His godchildren are going to sleep, so
Whatever.
Yeah, we got
eventually, man.
Like the first episode out of 2 today went well. And Ken, I think you gotta sign us off with a little bit of Reflection Sunday, the first of 2. So
Yeah, I will have one tonight. Don't worry. And we'll.
Oh no, not right now.
No, I'll do right now. I'll do one right now. I have one.
Okay.
I'm always ready. Mr. No Days Off here. We had Mr. No Days Off earlier. Quick shout out to PW, Dr. Gore, who's online right now. He says, okay, we'll block you guys. I don't know why. Maybe in the comments section they're fighting right now. Block the hate. Block the hate. Sorry, I'm charging
block the hate,
right
Dr. Gore.
But proceeding to the Reflection Sunday numero uno. So for this episode 11, I have a Reflection Sunday of, or hashtag Reflection Sunday of, when opportunity comes knocking on your door, whether you're ready or not, just open the door because you wouldn't know what can happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is a good Reflection Sunday. And maraming salamat ulit sa mga amigo at amiga that are watching hashtag PWG Live around lunchtime. And later tonight, we will also be on 10 p.m. with ROH's and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Cheeseburger. And again, next week, we also have PW Wrestling from home. Keep out for that. And then the link below, help our brave frontliners by ordering your PWR Mabuhay ang Wrestling shirts from tickettome.net. Part of the proceeds will go to our brave frontliners. And Ken, you can, like what Rach_Mendoza said, hashtag that. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. See you later, amigos, amigas.
See you later, guys.